Okay, it's happening. It's happening. I just had a stream, and I'll link the stream below, where we talked for 2 hours about the end of the chapter, and that's what we're gonna get to here. We're gonna try to remain somewhat general. Like you guys know, it's this chapter was fantastic. It feels like One Piece has been away for a long time, and it has, right? It really has. What? 2 weeks, right? And then we're on break next week again. Shit, man. However, this is how you come back. This is how you come back with a bang. And Oda definitely did that. So, okay, let's not waste any more time. Let me ask you guys first. What was your favorite part of the chapter? Because for me, it was definitely the last part, right? But some people, not a lot, but a few people saying like, well, I didn't enjoy this chapter. How did you not enjoy this chapter? What else would you want from basically the context of what's going on? What else would you want? Okay, let's bring it down a little bit because, you know, One Piece chapter 1037. I don't want to say the perfect chapter, right? Because we did get that stuff with the people in Onigashima. They're starting to say, okay, you know, we've been partying a bit. You know, let's just chill out. We understand it because they don't get to do this, right? This is the only time where they get to party and drink and have a good time, and then they go back to the despair that they have to endure every single day. So you understand why they're partying so much, but I could have done without that. I could have had more of the Gorosei stuff. Right, but I get it. I do get it. Let's try to go through this chapter. a very good one. We'll start with Luffy versus Kaido, obviously. Kaido's a very interesting character because sometimes it seems like he doesn't give a damn about anything. And sometimes it's like, wait, does he actually care about culture, history, just the way things are done? Because now he's referencing the Fire Festival, Onigashima. Because for him, right, it's a time where people get to drink and celebrate, and that's what he loves to do, drink and celebrate. It seems like, again, this chapter confirms he has a bunch of different mood swings every time he drinks, which we saw when Doflamingo got captured, or even when he captured Kid. We saw Use's Kid in the jail or whatever it was. But today was the day Kaido was supposed to do a lot of stuff. Of course, they had the Fire Festival, but they also had the banquet. The banquet was with him and Big Mom, the team up, the joining, right? I wonder how much of that was planned necessarily. We know the banquet was definitely going to happen, and the plan was definitely to get rid of Orochi because Yamato was supposed to take over Onigashima, right? So this was the beginning of a new era for him. But now things are kind of off schedule, and for him, he's just celebrating because he's having a good time with Luffy. The first thing I thought of, like after he started drinking and then the mood swings started kicking, I was like, okay, is this gonna impact the fight? They're gonna say, well, Kaido only lost because no, Luffy said, this better not impact the fact that once I get this W, you better not say because you were drunk. I was like, you idiot. This doesn't make me weaker. People are saying that he used awakening or somewhat because he got a lot buffer and his nose got bigger. I'm like, is that what we're gonna use now? Noses getting bigger in regards to awakenings? Sure. Another point that I wanted to touch on was Kaido talking about it's been a long time since someone challenged me to a serious 1v1. And first thing I thought of was, well, you talk about Odin every single time. Every opportunity you have, you mention Odin, how strong Odin was, how Odin, you have different visages. You have mental scars from Odin because of the physical scar he left you. You don't think of Odin when you think of a serious 1v1. But then I thought of Shanks, where Shanks stopped Kaido from going to Marineford, which I don't think Shanks fought Kaido, right? I don't think so at all. But even if they did have a little scuffle, it wasn't a serious 1v1, and Kaido pretty much confirmed it here. It's been a long time since someone challenged me to a serious 1v1. That's important here, okay? Serious 1v1. He's been challenged to a lot of 1v1s, but a serious 1v1, this is the first time in a long time. However, a long time 20 years is a long time. I can understand that. But you guys catch what I'm saying, okay? That's what I thought of. What did you guys think of when you heard him say that? Because that's the first thing I jumped to was like, Odin, Shanks? I mean, Shanks wasn't that serious or whatever. Anyway, let's continue. So the laughing drunk attack, I thought it was going to go the route of, you know, when Rock Lee and when somebody's drinking and they have the drunken fist thing. I was like, okay, is that about to be what happens here? No, Kaido has a bunch of different forms and attacks based on the type of drunk he is. Laughing drunk Ragnaroku, it hit Luffy so hard that it cracked the damn castle, or rather the dome, right? And the fact that Luffy's taking these attacks, not getting knocked out, he's incredible. He is amazing. And, you know, you start to look at it and like, how strong is this kid now? I don't even want to quantify it because right now it's really impressive. But after the attack, Luffy's head is still throbbing, and now Kaido's in his sad drunk phase. And he's talking about how long it would take to rebuild, saying it would take 5 years for him to rebuild the Wano Castle. And he's like, okay, 5 years, you know, every time I think about Kaido in 5 years, I think about Odin and the stuff he did. But as action-packed as this chapter was, I'm looking at Kaido, and Kaido's like, maybe my best wasn't good enough. I'm like, Kaido, bro, chill out, relax. Just calm down a little bit because you're still a Yonko. You still have all this in front of you, but you have a measly brat that you got to take care of. You got to focus because this kid is going to whoop your ass if you don't focus, right? Luffy gets right up to attack Kaido, and Kaido goes into his dragon form. We're like, when the hell did that happen? But then I went back, I looked at it, I was like, oh, he was in his dragon form the entire. I'm like, why? Right? Because the dragon form, what we've seen so far, that's when he gets pummeled, right? The dragon form is when he gets his ass whooped and then he comes back and goes into his hybrid form, right? Or just his regular human form. Well, Oni form, whatever the hell it is. Luffy runs into a demolition twister, then he transforms again. It's like the different phases lead to different transformations, I'm thinking. So he's a special guy, special creature. I do gotta say though, the choreography in this chapter was top tier. Like Kaido going to attack Luffy after that, and Luffy somersaulting over it and landing an impossible kick on Kaido. It hurt him. It did. He was definitely buckling after that, and just like, whoa, this is drawn so well, right? Like I can follow everything that's happening, which in previous fights, I think the Zoro versus King fight, there are moments where I was like, I gotta wait for the anime to see that. Here, it looks a bit special. Something underrated is after Luffy kicked Kaido, he's about to kick Kaido again. Kaido grabs his foot with his tail, then he's like, forget it. Headbutt, right? And the headbutt, they're not touching. A Conqueror's Haki clash with headbutts, and Luffy's come a long way, man. He went from headbutting with Ulti to now he's headbutting with Kaido, right? How much has he grown? How high is your ceiling, boy? So then we have angry drunk phase, and that turns into Gatling versus meteor shower. And Oda is portraying this fight as pretty much equal, pretty much even. That's how they're throwing hands. That's how they're going back and forth. And Kaido, the fact that a Yonko of the seas, he's acknowledging Luffy to the point that it's like, okay, I acknowledge you. I'm going to drink so I can have a great time because that's how much fun I'm having. It's something that I didn't foresee 2-3 years ago when we saw Luffy, or Luffy's about to fight Kaido, or Luffy coming to Wano. It felt like they were years away in regards to real world training, One Piece world, to even have a chance against Kaido. And Luffy's doing it right now 1v1. Is it justified? I think Luffy's growth has always been astronomical. This has probably been the most significant jump based on where we thought he was coming into the arc. I mean, it's incredible. He's fighting on par with a Yonko of the seas, the strongest creature, mind you. My favorite exchange in this entire thing, though, is when Kaido goes for a swing, and Luffy seems to use Conqueror's Haki to block the attack. He doesn't even touch it. Then he goes in for another attack, and he clobbers Kaido again. He's evolving mid-fight. Like I said, Kaido, after he turned this into a battle of basically endurance, I thought the writing was on the wall. I still think the writing is on the wall. This is Luffy's arena. You cannot do this with Luffy. You can't trade blows. He lives for this. Anyway. Let's get to the shit we want to talk about, okay? For whatever reason, we go to the Holy Land. Mary Joa, right? They talk about the reverie. I'm like, who's talking about the reverie, all right? Who's talking about this shit? Then we see the Gurusei. That's something I was spoiled on. In the week when the spoilers came out, somebody posted a panel. We saw just 2 Guruseis. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get some interesting stuff. But I was like, damn, they spoiled me, idiots. But then they're talking about Kaido and Big Mom. Of course, they go mention Nico Robin because they have a hard on every time Nico Robin is mentioned, right? And they got to talk about her and talk about getting rid of her because she's Nico Robin, she's the demon child, she's trouble, she's problem, blah, 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 whatever. But all of a sudden, we go back to Wano, to the units and the ships outside of Wano. And then they're talking about, wait, stand by, something going on here. And we're like, okay, what's going on? All right, what's going on? And then they're like, well, it's a giant shadow. We're not sure what it is. Is it an island? Then we go back to the Gurusei. Now, the issue is that when we go back to the Gurusei, we missed some of the dialogue. We missed some of the important conversation. We don't even know if the 2 conversations are related, right? They somehow have to be because it's the same. It seems like not much time has passed, but enough has passed so that we missed that transition to what they talk about. So it just starts off with one of them saying, that's impossible. That fruit is nothing but a legend for us now. And he says, even for us, it hasn't awakened for centuries. And something we've talked about in the past is the Gurusei and them possibly being immortal or ageless because they look the exact same as back in the day when we saw them, which was a long time ago. I'm talking about Ohara, right? They look the exact same. So that's interesting. But then the blonde Gurusei, who we call Sanji's dad, he then says, well, how do you explain the world government? I'm like, you mean you? How do you explain the world government giving a devil fruit a specific name? I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Then he says they were hiding the fruit's true name from the annals of history. This is mind-blowing because 1, what fruit is this? What are we talking about here? 2, the Gurusei don't know everything, right? And apparently there was a world government before them that predates them that did things that they don't even know about, right? Which, of course, in this instance, it means that they were protecting this devil fruit from falling into the wrong or the correct hands, because we know there's a devil fruit book, right? In the book, it has the devil fruits and the devil fruit names. Blackbeard talked about that. It's mentioned in different SBSs. There's a devil fruit encyclopedia. The information that has been passed down, whatever the devil fruit is, they changed the true name in that book. So something also to consider, something to remember rather, right? Very key information here for you to understand why this is such a big deal and why it's lost to history and it hasn't awakened for a long time. You can name devil fruits and put them in a book, but only the person that eats this devil fruit knows the true name of the devil fruit. You're like, Braga, what are you talking about? Well, something we may have forgotten back in chapter 385 of One Piece, right? Spandam says, you learn the name of the fruit when you gain the power, right? So this person, whomever has this devil fruit, they've either had it for a while or they haven't used the fruit or awakened the fruit in a way that has sparked any interest that the world government is aware of. Again, there's so many key factors here because for the Gorosei, one, they're on opposite ends. You have three Gorosei, three of them. One isn't saying anything, Gandhi. Then you have one who's saying, no, it's not real. It's a legend. We don't even know about it, right? It hasn't awakened for centuries. Then you have one that's saying, hold on, then why did it change the name of this specific devil fruit? The information that was passed down, it was significant enough that they know that this was changed. They just don't know what it was changed to or what the devil fruit is, but they do know what the power is. How is it relating to Wano? Well, Zunisha is showing up. I'll talk about tomorrow, maybe later, my top devil fruits that I think it is and get into who could have this devil fruit and why I think what I think in regards to these different devil fruits. This is big stuff. This is amazing stuff, guys. There's so much to get to, but you know, we'll talk about this. We have all weekend. We're not gonna empty the clip right now. Just know that this is big news. And Oda managing to do this 1,037 chapters in, we're on the stream, we're losing our minds. We're wondering how, where, why, how, right? I don't know. Some people may think this isn't a big deal. This is a huge deal. This is a very important mystery because the Gorosei don't know about it. And then talking about the world government, bro, you are the world government. What are you saying? Amazing chapter. Loved it. Can't wait for the next one. And unfortunately, we're on break. So yeah, that's where we at, man. That's where we at. Y'all give me your thoughts. How do you feel about it? What do you think is going to happen? I'm just at a place where I'm just like, Oda, why are you playing with it? Why are you playing with me? Why are you playing with us? You dropped this banger, starting off 2022 with a bang, literally, and then you go on break, man. He deserves it though, so it is what it is, guys. Give me your thoughts. How do you feel about this chapter? I am elated, okay? We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna get close, okay? I'm gonna talk to a few people, see if we can, you know, have some interesting conversation about this. But guys, give me your thoughts. Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAs. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Again, guys, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.